everyone lies about sex, Avi. They lie to get sex, they lie while they're having sex, often they lie after sex. I mean, this is really a question, this is not about perjury. If it was about, you know, it was really crimes and misdemeanors, which is what the basis for impeachment is in the States, then we'd have a president who lied about something to do with the state. And I think people are mixing up the affairs of state with the affairs of the head of state, which are two very different things. You don't need to meet a hard left with a hard right from a billy club. I mean, part of what's going on here is that they did overreact. If you looked at some of the footage from inside the building, there were a bunch of protesters. They tried to move through the doors. What were they going to do? Give people paper cuts with their placards? I mean, you guys, you right-wingers, I mean, I don't want to sound like Hillary Clinton here, but it seems to me you guys, this is like this big thing about wanting to get, why are you so anxious to get rid of Bill Clinton? He's been the best mouthpiece for conservative values. I mean, if anyone should be sitting here agreeing, he should go, it's me. But look, this isn't a debate, unfortunately, about how big a pig the guy is, okay? The guy's a big pig. I think we can all agree on that. But unfortunately, being a big pig is not a reason to get rid of the President of the United States. Stewart, you know, I watch her show, I read her things. You know what? She basically compels me. It's like a car accident. I feel sick for watching, you know, a good working class girl watching Martha Stewart going, I can't do any of this stuff, and yet I can't look away. Really, I'm fascinated by her. The real problem I have with it is that Buy Nothing Day says that the problem is shopping. And I don't think the problem is shopping. I think the problem is that there's lots of people in the world that can't buy enough to sustain their lives. And that, to me, is the biggest problem. When you have a situation, the UN report came out not long ago and showed that there's like 1/5 of the people in the world that consume 86% of the world's resources every year. Well, that 1/5, it's not because they're living in North America, although lots of them are. It's because they're the richest 1/5. And one of the justifications for that, I think NBC or CBS said that one of their problems with it didn't meet the current economic policy of the US government.
Yeah, that's what they cited.
And while I don't normally agree with that, I think in this world market environment where things are close to deflationary, where we are looking maybe a world recession in the face, I'm not sure that telling North American consumers to stop spending when we're the only ones able to spend right now is a good idea. It's not going to help the people that most need the help.
It's ridiculous. I mean, to what extent do we take this, right? Are we going to start putting out national guidelines? You're going to have to sign a contract if you're a woman that wants a baby, saying what you will and will not do. I mean, if we're going to be that ridiculous, then I think we should actually set up a rewards plan. It could be like Aeroplan points, you know, and you can reward mothers for being good mothers. At least it would be a carrot instead of a stick. I mean, I do feel contradictory about the representation in Star Wars. I mean, there aren't other women in it, and certainly as a struggle issue, I mean, it's true that the movies weren't very representational of race and weren't, you know, didn't even really have many aliens in them. But I think we also can't blame Lucas for stuff that was going on. You know, you hear all these art film guys talking about how great the 70s was for films. I didn't see a lot of black men in Annie Hall. So, you know, although that's one of my favorite movies, let's not ask something of Lucas in his fantasy that we don't blame other directors of that era for, whose movies we actually like on a film level. But I think on the grand level, like when you're a kid seeing that kind of thing, it was a very positive movie. You know, it was still fundamental. It was about the cowboy sort of attitude of Han Solo, but I don't think there's anything wrong with some individualism, and I think that's something the left has to embrace more. And I think that in Star Wars, you can have the best of both worlds. You can both be a rebel and a princess, and I don't see what's wrong with that.
But like in most